Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for joining in another Acchutha's Inspire series. Today, we have Dr. Dharani Ramamurthy, who is a very well-known researcher in myopia and public health aspects. Dr. Dharani Ramamurthy is a professor in optometry from SR Medical College and Research Center, Chennai. She did her bachelor's in optometry from Shankar Nethralaya Elite School of Optometry and continued pursuing her PhD from Anglia Ruskin University, Cambridge, UK, focusing on myopia and its risk factor. She also has a good amount of postdoctoral fellowship from Singapore National University, and with over 20 years of teaching and academic experience. She shares a lot of awards and being a peer reviewer in many of the peer-reviewed high impact journals. She also have couple of core research grant from SERB, and she's the best. We thought she will talk about how to attract research grants specifically for optometry, be it optometry or any healthcare programs. Thank you so much, Dr. Dharani, for accepting our invitation and joining us today. The screen time is yours. Over to you, Dr. Dharani.
Yeah, thank you, Gopi, and thank you, Saranya, for letting me to be a part of Acchutha Inspire series. I'll just, can you all see my screen?
Yes, your screen is up.
Today I'll be talking to you about the available research grants in India, because in the last at least one decade, I must say that there is a great potential, which is potential and scope, which is being provided by the government of India in supporting research and innovation. So if you really look at this slide, you can see that there is enormous funding opportunity with about 92 different types of such scope, and there are about 395 programs and schemes, which also apart from which we also have funding for to promote startup and innovation. So you can see that there are about 3,000 plus technologies that have been supported from these funding grants that are provided by the government of India, and about 2,500 fellows and scholars have been the beneficiaries, with 8,000 organizations and about 23,000 and odd research schemes or research proposals being funded. So these fundings are provided across different areas. If you look at this, you can see that the different research areas that are being supported starts right from agricultural sciences, including astronomy, chemical science, and where do we fit in? We fit in probably life sciences and medical sciences. And the funding is provided to institutes for improving their research and development infrastructure, and it also supports different types of international travel, as well as some international and national short-term fellowships, and grants are also provided to individuals who have the potential to lead research as a principal investigator. Apart from these, there are also grants that are provided for conducting or organizing seminars and conferences. And you do have startup research grants, which is exclusively meant for fresh PhDs for setting up their a lab. And coming to the different organizations that provide these fundings, you have the ministries and departments from the under the government of India, and you do have other organizations that provide the funding. But today I'll be focusing on the grants from the Indian ministry and departments, because I think it's otherwise it really becomes huge. Hello. And then funding is available to school students, graduates, postgraduates, and PhD scholars, and also for postdoctoral fellowships. And you do have different types of schemes which are exclusively meant for women scientists. And there are also science and technology awards and national fellowships for recognizing those who have really made an impact in their field of research. And coming to the programs, different programs, as I already told you, these agencies support research and development, and also to empower different human resources. And there are women schemes that are available and international programs. But most of these, I must say that most of these are attainable inside India, except for the international travel support and the international short-term fellowships. And we do have funding to support and promote innovations, like the DBT, the Department of Biotechnology, provides grants for starting up incubators or glass innovations to support your innovations, and for filing and getting your patents published for your innovative technologies. So the major funding organizations are DST, which is the Department of Science and Technology, under which we also have ANRF, which is the Anusandhan National Research Foundation, which was formerly known as the SERB, that is the Science and Engineering Research Board. And we do have DBT, the Department of Biotechnology, and ICMR, which many of us are familiar with, the Indian Council of Medical Research. And we do have CSIR, that is the Center for Scientific and Industrial Research, and UGC, University Grants Commission. So in my talk, I'll be covering the key grants and schemes which we as optometrists can try applying, and if the proposal is really impactful, we do can get in through. So first, let's know about the funding provided by DST. So DST provides Inspire Research Fellowship, and then it also has Vice Kiran program, which is for women in science and engineering. And we do have women scientist schemes. And DST also provides grants to institutions for strengthening and improving their research and development infrastructure. And we do have the exclusive grant for Cognitive Science Research Initiative, because I think optometrists are getting specialized in cognitive research. There are few of them are showing interest towards psychology, in the field of psychology. So this might be an avenue for those people to just give it a try. And DSP also provides technology development grant. If you have an innovative idea to develop an instrument or any AI-based platform, you can we have a scope in this scheme. So these are the individual. I have just divided split the information into the eligibility, the grant amount, the maximum grant amount, and the tenure, that is the duration of the support, and how frequently the funding agency puts a call. Okay, so first, Inspire grant, which is Innovation and Science Pursuit for Inspired Research. So the eligibility for this is PhD in Sciences or Engineering, and there is an age limit which is about 32 years. And the grant amount, the support is given in the form of monthly salary, which is about 1.25 lakhs. And there is also a grant of 7 lakhs per year for up to 5 years. And the grant call for this Inspire program is made once in a year, which will be available in the DST website. And in most of these grant calls, if you are attached to a university, then the university's research dean or research department would circulate it to the faculties, so that the potential faculties can aspire and apply for these research grants. The next one is Vice Kiran, that is Women in Science and Engineering. So this is for women who are qualified in science, engineering, and technology, but who do not have a regular employment, but who possess a PhD or an equivalent degree. The age limit for this program is about 27 to 60 years. So people who are in this age limit should apply, can apply. And the support is provided in the form of a monthly fellowship of about 55,000. And there is a 2 lakh contingency grant every year for up to 3 years. And this is also a annual call. That is, it's made, the grant call is made once a year. And we do have women scientist scheme. Again, this is also for women who are qualified in science and technology, but who are currently unemployed due to a break in career like maternity or personal and family reasons. So the eligibility is they should possess a PhD or equivalent degree, and the age limit is 27 to 57 years. And if the support is again in the form of a monthly fellowship of about 55,000, and there is a total research funding of about 30 lakhs, which is for a period of 3 years. And the grant call is made every year, once a year. Then moving on to support, funding support for institutions. DST does support centers or institutions which have a strong PG research programs. And the institutes should be having this postgraduate research programs for at least 5 years. And the grant amount is about 3 crores if you really have a sound research proposal. Then the grant amount is capped at 3 crores, which is to augment the research facilities. And this is for a duration of 5 years. So 3 crores is for the entire duration of 5 years. And then moving on to the Cognitive Science Research Initiative. This support is provided to PhD holders in science, engineering, and allied areas of cognitive science. Like if somebody is from clinical psychology or clinical psychiatry, and even we can apply under the allied area, because we as optometrists, we have a role in managing these patients with psychiatry problems. And to be eligible for this scheme, the candidates should be PhD holders, or they could have submitted their thesis. And the age limit is up to 40 years, but I think they do consider age of above 40 years too in certain special cases. And the support is provided in the form of fellowship of 55,000 per month and a contingency grant of 2 lakhs per year. The support is for a tenure of 5 years. And the technology development program, which is open to PhD holders in the area of science, engineering, and technology, and the applicant must be working in academic institutions or R&D institutes or laboratories. And the grant amount is about 30 lakhs. I think it goes up to 60 lakhs depending on the institution from where you are applying. And the tenure of this program is for about 2 to 5 years. And the grant calls for all these 3 schemes are made once a year, which will be announced in the DST website. Then moving on to ANRF, which is Anusandhan National Research Foundation, which was formerly known as the SERB, that is the Science and Engineering Research Board. They do provide international support for international travel, and they do give individual centric grants like the JC Bose grant, and for competent PI who can apply for core research grant, and Prime Minister's Early Career Research Grant, which was earlier known as the Startup Grant. And ANRF does provide financial assistance for seminars, conducting or organizing seminars and symposia. So first, the JC Boost grant is meant for senior scientists or researchers in all domains of science and engineering. So the applicant must be a PhD holder and should be an Indian national who is employed in institutions or universities in India. And the grant amount is 25 lakhs for a period of 5 years. That is, you get 5 lakhs per year, which is for 5 years. And the core research grant is again for individuals who have a solid or a sound, impactful research proposal, who are looking for funding. So they must be PhD holders in science and engineering and must be working in recognized institutions or universities. And the grant amount is about 35 lakhs, which is for a period of about 3 years. And the Early Career Research Award is also for PhD holders. So this is a startup grant. So those who have finished PhD and those who want to establish their labs, laboratories, they have a potential to apply and secure this grant. And the age limit for this is 42 years, although there is a relaxation of 3 years for special group. And the grant amount is about 60 lakhs, total of 60 lakhs for a period of 3 years. And these grant calls are made once a year. And then the financial assistance for seminar and symposia. This is again open to all academic and research institutions for organizing events. For example, now we have EVOC, which is coming up. So Shankara Nethralaya ESO can apply for such financial assistance to host the conference. And there is international travel support provided to Indian researchers who have a paper accepted for a conference abroad. And the age limit for this is up to 35 years. And the support is provided for two-way economy airfare and visa charges plus local travel. And the applications can be made throughout the year, but you will be required to submit it in a specific window, that is before 2 to 4 months from the date of start of the conference. And then moving on to the grants that are provided by DBT, that is the Department of Biotechnology. We do have BIRAC grant, which most of us might have heard, and MK Bond Young Researchers Fellowship, and Ramalingaswamy Re-Entry Fellowship and the BioCare grant. Do have Tata Innovation Fellowship and the Corona Innovative Young Biotechnologies Fellowship. I'll be running through each of these. So BIRAC, which is the short form of Biotechnology Industry Research Assistance Council, they provide support for startups and to promote academia and industry collaborations for technology development. So the applicant must be a PhD holder or any equivalent degree in the area of science, engineering, and technology, with at least 3 years of experience in the institute from where they are applying. And the support is provided for 3 years, and it is capped at 3 crores during the entire tenure. And this grant call is made twice in a year, once in April, May, and then again in September and October. Then moving on to the MK Bond Young Researcher Fellowship. Again, this is provided to PhD holders who are below 35 years of age. If they have a high quality research proposal, they can apply and secure this grant. So the support is provided in the form of salary of about 90,000 per month. And there is also a 20 lakh research grant to run the research study. And the tenure is for 3 years. So every year, during every grant call, there are about 50 fellowships which are provided. And then the next one is the Ramalinga Swamy Re-Entry Fellowship, which is to attract foreign talents to come to India and start their research career. So the eligibility for this is PhD holders or those with the MD with at least 3 years of postdoctoral research experience in abroad universities or research center. And the age limit for this is about 45 years. So the research support is provided in the form of salary of about 1.35 lakhs per month and also a research grant of about 13 lakhs per year for up to 3 years. And 75 such fellowships are provided every year during every grant call. And these two, the MK Bond fellowship and the Ramalinga Swamy Re-Entry Fellowship, the grant calls are made once a year. And then this biotechnology and career reorientation program, which is also called the BioCare. It is exclusively meant for women scientists who have a PhD, but who have not yet secured any funding. And the age limit for this is 55 years. So the grant support is in the form of fellowship of 50,000 per month and a research grant of about 30 lakhs for a period of 3 years. And next one is the Tata Innovation Fellowship, which is towards individual scientists who have a very good track record. And the eligibility for this is the applicant must have a PhD degree in life sciences, agriculture, or veterinary science. And candidates who have a master's degree in medical sciences, engineering, or biotechnology and related areas can also apply. And the age limit for this is 55 years. So the fellowship is about 25,000 per month with a research grant of about 10 lakhs per year for up to 3 years. And there are 10 fellowships. This is highly competitive because there are only 10 such fellowships provided every year. And next is the Hargobind Khurana Innovative Young Biotechnologist Fellowship. So this is exclusively for people who are into biotechnology and life science. The age limit, they must be a PhD holder, and the age limit is 35 years. And the grant support is provided in the form of fellowship towards salary, which is about 1.3 lakhs per I think it is month, and the research grant is 10 lakhs per year. And again, this is also quite competitive with only 10 fellowships provided during every research call. And all these three programs, you can see the funding cycle is only once a year. And then coming on to the DBT Junior Research Fellowships, JRFs. So DBT does provide support to masters, people with master's degree, either MSc or MTech in life sciences and biotechnology, who are below the age of 28 years. But the selection for this program is made through the biotechnology eligibility test, which is held every year during a particular time, similar to the NEET exam. So those who are ranked in the top percentile will be selected for this grant. So the support is in the form of 37,000 per month towards JRF, which is convertible to a senior research fellowship after 2 years. So as a senior research fellow, the person would be eligible for stipend of about 42,000 per month along with HRA. And DBT provides 500 such fellowships every year. And next is the DBT Research Associateship. This is for PhD holders in biotechnology in life sciences. And the age limit for this is 40 years for men and 45 years for women. And the support is about 47,000 to 54,000 per month in the form of stipend along with HRA. And the tenure of this is about 2 years. And next is the Corona program for scholars. This is for Indian students, UG or PG students who are from the field of biotechnology or biology. This is provided for potential and impactful students who want to pursue their research for a short period in any of the abroad universities or institutes. So the grant amount is about stipend of US dollar 30,000, sorry, 3,000 per month. And it also covers health insurance up to $600. And they can choose, they can be in the abroad university or institute for about 10 to 12 weeks. And all these programs are announced once a year. The grant call is made once in a year. Then moving on to the ICMR, that is the Indian Council for Medical Research, which I think most of us are familiar with. It provides support in the form of extramural grants, fellowships, and in research support. We will see each of the schemes under these categories. So the extramural grants, this is meant for exclusively meant for principal investigators who have a regular appointment in the in Indian nationalized medical institutes or research institutes, universities or colleges, and also from NGOs. And for this, the extramural grants, there are three categories, namely the small grants, intermediate grants, and advanced grant, which is for setting up the Center for Excellence in research. So the small grants are funded up to 2 crores from minimum of 10 lakhs to 2 crores. And the intermediate grants, the funding support is provided from 2 to 8 crores. And for setting up the Center for Excellence in Advanced Research, funding is capped up to 15 crores. And the tenure of these grants of this program is for 3 years. And ICMR also does provide research support to NRI, that is non-resident Indians, people of Indian origin, and OCI to support their research proposals and research program. So the applicant must be having MD, MS, or MDS or master's degree in any of these fields, which I have specified here. And with a PhD or with a PhD in a topic which is related to health research. So the applicant must have at least 3 years of postdoctoral experience in abroad as a NRI or PIO or OCI. And the age limit for this program is about 45 years. So if they want to come here and do some research, they can apply as a NRI or PIO. And for this, the grant support is in the form of a stipend or salary of about 1.2 lakhs per month. And they're also given a research grant of 20 lakhs per year up to 3 years to run their research study. And then the startup grant is for, this is exclusively for biomedical and health research area. So this is for freshers, fresh PhDs who are employed as regular faculties in any of the institutes, and they must have completed their PhD in last 5 years. And the age limit to secure this, to apply for this, is about 45 years. And a research grant of about rupees 16 lakhs per year is provided up to 3 years. And these grant calls are made once in every year. Then biomedical research fellowships for scholars for non-medical background. We do have this biomedical research fellowship for scholars who are from medical background. That is, for those with MBBS, MD, if they want to do PhD, they can apply for that fellowship. This is for those with non-medical background, that is, who are not from a background of medicine. So this program aims to provide research support for postgraduate students to pursue their PhD in any of the universities or institutes. The age limit for this is 35 years, and the area proposals pertaining to various disciplines in the field of biomedical sciences are eligible, but the selection is made through the BRED test, which is the biomedical research eligibility test, and the support is provided up to 5 years or till completion of PhD. That is, it is a combined JRF and SRF. So the stipend for the junior research fellowship is about rupees 37,000 per month, along with the HRA, which after 2 years can be converted to a senior research fellowship, depending on the progress and publications. And there is also a contingency grant of about 20,000 per annum. Then the next one is the Women Scientist Fellowship. Similar to DST, ICMR also provides exclusive fellowships to competent women but who are unemployed due to a recent career break within 1 to 5 years. So they must be Indian citizens, and the eligibility is categorized into two: category A and category B. So in the category A, you can see that candidates having MD, MS, MDS, or MBBS or PhD in any health research field. And category B is for those who have completed MBBS, BDS, or master's degree, and who are enrolling into a PhD with at least 2 years of work experience after the degree. So for category A, the research support is provided in the form of a stipend of 90,000 per month, along with HRA and 10 lakhs research grant for up to 3 years. And category B, a stipend of about 65,000 per month, along with the HRA, which is exclusively for non-medical person, and 10 lakhs research grant for per year. So for them to run their PhD research study, and the grant call is every once in a year. And then these are some of the fellowship grant support, which can be short term or long term in any of the abroad universities. So you can see the eligibility here. For short term fellowship, the candidate must have 15 years of experience, 10 years of experience for 1 to 3 months fellowship, and the age limit is 57 years for short-term fellowship, whereas 45 years for long-term fellowship abroad. And the support is provided in the form of US dollar 3,000 per month as stipend to support their stay, accommodation, local travel, etc., and also airfare and medicline expenses abroad. And these are made once in a year. I think it's open now, and the deadline is soon, just 31st of May. And then a long-term fellowship, similar to short-term and long-term fellowship at abroad institutes or universities, ICMR does provide support for pursuing fellowships long-term or short-term in any of the Indian universities. And the support for this is provided in the form of a stipend of about 40,000 per month, with a contingency grant of 30,000 and an additional amount of 20,000, which is for travel towards attending the progress review meetings conducted by ICMR. And the call is made once in a year. And international travel grant, which is for senior biomedical scientists, researchers, or doctoral students who are actively engaged in research and development work. So senior scientist, the age should be about 35 years of age. And those who are working in academic institutions and research laboratories, and young researchers like research scholars and postdoctoral researchers or young scientists, fresh PhDs up to 35 years of age can also apply. So the travel support is provided for a maximum of 1.5 lakhs, which can cover your airfare, local travel, visa fees, etc. And this call is open throughout the year. And moving on to the funding provided by the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. So they do provide grants under different heads, fellowships. They have schemes for senior scientists, and they do have special awards for those who have a exclusive track record in their own field of research, and grants towards travel, international travel, and organizing symposium. We will see one by one. So this JRF, CSIR JRF is quite famous. We as optometrists, we are not very much into it, but engineering and science and technology, biotechnology people are quite into the CSIR JRFs. So the eligibility for this is UG, PG degree holders who are below 30 years of age. And the stipend, they do receive a stipend of 37,000 per month for first 2 years as a JRF, which can subsequently become a senior research fellowship depending on the progress that they show. And the stipend for SRF is about 42,000 per month. And the grant call is made twice a year for this, and the selection is through UGC NET exam, CSIR UGC NET exam, that is the national eligibility test. And again, the next program, which is the Shyama Prasad Mukherjee Fellowship. This is also based on the NET exam results, and the toppers of CSIR UGC NET exam are eligible for this fellowship, and support is provided in the form of a stipend of about 43,000 along with the HRA and contingency research grant of about 70,000 per year. And the tenure is for 2 years with a possible extension up to 5 years, depending on the progress made by the candidate. And this is also made, the call is made twice in a year, and 15 awards are granted during each grant call. And we do have CSIR's Junior Research Fellowship, the selection for which is made through GATE, and this is exclusively for undergraduates from engineering and technology background. And the stipend is provided in the form of about 37,000 per month for first 2 years, and then 42,000 per month if it is getting converted to a senior research fellow. And there is also a small research grant of about 20,000 per fellow. And the tenure is for 5 years. And this grant call is made once in a year, and up to 120 awards are given every year. Then the senior research fellowship, which candidates with MSc, BE and BTech background are eligible to apply, but provided they have one science publication, SCI publication, along with 2 + 2 years, at least 2 years of research experience, and the age limit is 32 years. So eligible fellows receive a stipend of 42,000 per month with a contingency grant of 20,000 per fellow. This is annual. So this contingency grant is a research support grant. So it is not categorized into equipment, manpower, or anything else. So it can be utilized for any purpose. For example, you want to buy some equipments, minor equipments, this contingency research grant can be used. So the tenure of this senior research fellowship is 2 years, which can be extended to a maximum of 5 years. And this is also advertised. The funding cycle is once in a year. And then the research associate program. This is for PhDs in science or engineering, or those from medical science background, or with ME or MTech. And the age limit to apply for this is about 35 years. And this The research support is in the form of a stipend or a salary support of about 58,000, 61,000 and 67,000 per month, and the contingency grant of 20,000 per fellow. And the tenure is usually for 1 year with the extension to a maximum of 3 years. So the first year stipend would be 58,000 and the 61,000 is for the second and third year, it's about 67,000. And the grant call is made once a year. And the next one is for postdoctoral research fellowship. So applicants who have a, PhD degree, who have graduated with a PhD within the last 3 years are eligible to apply for this award. And they must be below 32 years of age. And the support is provided in the form of salary of about 80,000 per month along with HRA, and they do get a research contingency grant of about 3 lakhs per annum for up to 2 years. So with the possible extension to 1 year, depending on the progress in the subsequent, in the previous years. And the funding cycle is twice a year. Announcements are made in June and during December, and there are 100 such awards per year. Then the Senior Research Associateship is also for postdoctoral candidates, and age limit less than 40 years. And the salary support is provided as a stipend of about 56,000 to 60,000, 67,000 per month, depending on their track record and the performance. And the tenure of this program is up to 3 years. And the grand call is made every year once, and 100 awards are given per year. And the last one in the screen is for interns, research interns, Diamond Jubilee Research Interns program. So this is for students, who bachelor students in any of this discipline. The age limit should be less than 25 years. They get an internship stipend of about 24,000 per month, and it is provided for up to 2 years. And then these are for emeritus scientists and individual research schemes. So the first one is for emeritus scientist grant, which from the name itself, we know that it is for very senior scientists, that is the superannuated CSIR scientists, but this is exclusively for those who are retired from the CSIR lab or institute. And then the next one is the research scheme, that is which is provided to potential PhD holders from any university or institutions, any faculty who have a full-time regular appointment, who have a PhD, and the grant amount is not clearly specified. We couldn't get that information, but grant is provided, support is provided for purchase of minor equipments, to hire manpower who can run your research study, and also a contingency grant which can be used towards travel, consumables, etc. And the tenure of these research schemes are typically about 3 years, with a possible extension to 2 more years, depending on the progress made. And the funding cycle is twice a year. Then the sponsored research scheme is also similar to the previous one and previous one. So the research scheme and sponsored research scheme is, if you have a research proposal, but you're looking for some funding, you can apply to these particular schemes and programs. Then the last one is grants for journals. Okay, so this is for getting your manuscripts published. So, but it is only for journals in Indian languages, uh, through which you want to disseminate your knowledge or your finding. So it's about 10,000 to 1 lakh per annum, and this is open throughout the year. And then these are the awards. This slide shows the awards which are being instituted and given away by CSIR. So the first one is Shanti Swaroop Bhatnagar Prize, which is eligible, which is open to any Indian citizen who are engaged in research in any field of science and technology, and the upper age limit is 45 years. So this is a one-time recognition award of about rupees 5 lakhs per awardee. But the person should really have an excellent track record with lots of publications and patents. And the funding cycle is once a year, and only 2 awards are given per discipline. Okay, it's so highly competitive. And then the G.N. Ramachandran Gold Medal, which is again open to citizens of India who are actively engaged in research in biological sciences and technology. The award consists of a gold medal and citation, and this is also given away once a year, and there is only one award per year. And then the CSIR Young Scientist Awards with the age limit of 35 years. So any scientist or researchers who is working in any of the CSIR laboratory is eligible to apply for this. So this consists of a cash award, honorarium, and a research grant. And the grant call is made once a year, and there is only one award per discipline, which they have mentioned. And then the CSIR Bhatnagar Fellowship. This is open to all leading Indian scientists and not restricted to CSIR alone. And but they should have made impactful research contribution in their area of expertise or in their field of research in the last 10 years. And the grant amount is about 40 lakhs per annum, which is for a tenure of 3 years with a possible extension by about 2 more years, depending on the progress made in the previous years. And this grant call is open throughout the year, and there are only 6 awards which are given away per year. And then moving on to other types of grants from CSIR. The first one is the travel grant, similar to ICMR and ANRF. CSIR also does support international travel towards attending, presenting papers in conferences for active young Indian researchers and emeritus scientists. So the support is provided by way of complete full reimbursement of the actual airfare. And these travel grant are open throughout the year, but they have a specific window or time frame within which you have to apply depending on the date and schedule of your particular conference. So the applications must be submitted within between 2 to 4 months before the starting day of the conference or the event. And Symposia grant is for faculty or scientists who are working in any recognized Government of India recognized institution, and this does support partial support towards organizing scientific events such as so it provides travel support to the delegates, registration fee waiver, and promotion of your event through advertisements, etc. So the applications must be submitted within 4 months from the complete end date of the event. Okay, so these funding agencies are very specific in terms of the date. So we have to really read the requirements and advertisement very carefully. And then the next one is CSIR partial financial assistance. Applicant must be a regular non-CSIR employee, and they do get partial reimbursement of 50% of the actual airfare or rupees 30,000, whichever is less. And the applications for this as a financial assistance must be submitted 2 to 4 months before the event. And then coming to the grants or the fundings provided by the University Grants Commission, they do provide grants to university or college teachers for major and minor research projects. So major research projects are for permanent teachers permanent faculties or retired teachers. Uh, Permanent teachers, in the sense they must be employed in a UGC recognized university or college, or who have retired from a UGC recognized university or college. And for retired teachers, the eligibility is up to 67 years. They must have a co-investigator from the same department in the institute. And the fields that are supported is sciences, engineering, technology, medical and pharmacy, agriculture. So for these fields, the grant amount is 20 lakhs, whereas for humanities, social sciences, law, etc., the grant support is about 15 lakhs. So the tenure is about 3 years, and this grant call is open throughout the year. And the next one is for teachers in UGC recognized college or universities for minor project. So this ranges from 3 lakhs to 5 lakhs. So this is for minor project. It is usually for small scale or small budget projects, which is undertaken as part of a PhD or maybe a PG project. And the tenure of this program is 2 years. And the funding cycle is open between April to July. So with this, we have almost come to the end of this talk. And I've only given a very small gist or summary of the major research grants and research grants or funds which we can apply. So there are a lot other research grants which are available for other disciplines or other areas of research. So for those who are really interested to know more about these programs and schemes, they can visit this website, which is being developed and maintained by the India Science, Technology and Innovation. And last but not the least, I would like to sincerely thank my scholars, Rezul and Vidya, for their assistance in preparing this presentation. They helped me to collate the information on pertaining to different grants and organize them into slides. Thank you both. And with this, I will end my talk. Yeah. Hope that wasn't boring because too many informations. I tried to put it in, bullet points and tried to keep it concise.
Definitely not for me, because
Okay.
I was thrilled to see so many opportunities
So
in
many,
terms
yeah.
of grants specific to even allied health and our healthcare professionals. It's been opened up for all of us. Like maybe 5, 6 to 7 years back, it was more focused for biotechnology and maybe some other field, core basic science fields. Now people are approaching and even they are getting granted. That's the interesting thing.
Yeah.
And one example is you got two grants from SERB, seed money and things. So how was the experience? Like I just want to ask a couple of questions before if audiences ask.
Yeah.
How was the experience of getting the SERB grant from? Like
You,
what are the basic things you did before you even apply? Was it a collaborative effort, or and can you share some points on that?
Yeah, sure. We actually obtained the SERB CRG grant, which is really my first research grant, and it is very close to my heart because we have been this this was for developing a product which is the myopia tracker. I had this idea right from the time I came back from Singapore after my second round of postdoc. So during COVID time, there was a seminar by the biomedical engineering department. So I collaborated with them. There was the scientist from the biomedical department who was interested. But when you really apply for grants, you have to really have a lot of patience. But this SERB grants are processed quite fast. To be very honest, they are the very fastest agency to finalize your grant results. So it's about 6 months. So we initially applied we collaborated, we had a research idea. So we were just glimpsing through the different research programs which we can apply. So before you apply, you have to really see which grant you can apply, because this is a device development program. So we applied to a DST grant, which is the device development program. So we applied, but we couldn't secure. Then we really analyzed what went wrong. The problem was, what we thought was, we applied it as with me as the principal investigator, because I am from optometry background, but the proposal is on device development. So the PI, the funding agency expert committee, will see whether the PI is able to take up and run this, develop this device. So in that aspect, our application was really very weak, and I think that could be one of the reasons that it got rejected. So next time we submitted it to SERB CRG, core research grant, which really promotes such interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary collaborative programs. So the second time what we did was, I made my biomedical engineer to apply as a PI, and I was the clinical co-PI, and it really clicked. So when you really apply, you should have patience, and you see whether your work is really worthy, and you pick and choose these specific programs, because as we saw now, there are umpteen programs and grant calls and schemes which are available. You have to really pick and choose where your research proposal and idea will exactly fit in.
Okay, awesome, ma'am. We have couple of questions. I will just take one by one.
Sure.
There is a question from Miss Chandrika. I think she's about to submit her thesis and looking for some postdoc fellowship awards. Her question is whether we can apply it before getting awarded the PhD, or we should have a PhD before to apply for the postdoc fellowship grants, especially the Nehru, Brightful, all those.
Fulbright, Nehru
Yeah.
Fulbright Scholarship. I think this is a postdoc which is in collaboration with the Wellcome Trust UK. So they would really expect that you should have defended, submitted, awarded with a PhD. So your application is going to be more stronger once you are awarded with a PhD. But I would suggest that you can still try once you have defended your thesis. You can still try. So it will be a practice. Even if you don't get, even if you fail, it's okay. It's just an experience for you.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. So next question is from Mr. Rajesh Kumar. His question is easily available grants for optometrists. I believe there is no easy way to get grant unless it is a collaborative effort, and your proposal should be a very strong research question should come out. So your perspective on that.
Yeah, true. Because research grants are really competitive. Okay, and you have everybody on the race, and it's you have almost about 5,000, 10,000 people who are applying along with you during each grant call. So there is no research grant which is easily available. But if you have a good proposal and you have a proper collaboration, you can go in for ICMR small grants. You can try to apply for ICMR small grants, or even CSIR, provided you have a sound research proposal. If you want to do any experimental research work like psychophysical experiment or any vision science related experiment, you can apply for the ANRF, which is formerly known as the SERB. But the ANRF grants are currently put on hold because they are migrating from SERB to ANRF. Earlier, they were known as SERB. Now they are migrating to ANRF. So lots of their grant calls are put on hold now. So you can try to put in to ICMR small grants if it is not a very huge budget that you want, because ICMR supports medical and health sciences. Earlier, they were only supporting basic science research and medical science, but now I think physiotherapists, occupational therapists also do apply for ICMR grants, and they do secure. And the number of grants, small grants, is about 300 to 400 grants are awarded every year. So the chances are a little higher.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So we will take this question as the last question due to time constraint. This is from Miss Sangeeta. Thank you for the talk. She has made it three questions. Like, as a PhD candidate, is there any option to apply for a research grant? Second, being as a PhD candidate, how we should prepare ourselves to get the PhD, any grant, and what expectations do the team of the selection committee look into our CV? That's the question. If I can break it down into three different questions. Over to you, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So I understand that Sangeeta is pursuing her PhD now.
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know her. Yeah.
So yeah. So the first question is, sorry, I forgot. Gopi, can you repeat the first
Yeah.
question?
It's about, as a PhD candidate, is there a possibility? If I'm not wrong, it is not possible. Without having a PhD, mean more 90% of the grants are not provided with. If you are a PA, you cannot be a PA if you don't have a PhD. That's the.
No. There are, if you look through my slides, there are some funds which are available for PhD scholars to with support their PhD project. You can try along with your PhD supervisor one. And this UGC grants, they sound simple. And if you are from UGC recognized institute, you can try to apply for the funds which support postgraduates to pursue their PhD, but they are very competitive. And second question, please.
Second question is like, how we should be prepared to apply and how we can improve our CV. What are the
Okay.
expectations from the committee who is
Application
going to see?
and
Yeah,
review process.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So the application, each funding agency has a specific format. Okay, so you have to first look into their format, and they would have made the format very specific. So you should have clear aims, objectives, and proper methodology. Okay, because you have to always remember that these are competitive grants. Okay, and then the review process. I'm not a reviewer. I have not come to that stage, but as an applicant, all that I can say is, first you see whether the PI, whoever is applying, the PI has the expertise in the specific area that you are proposing. Like, as I told you earlier, when our experience in getting a grant for the device development, first time we failed because an optometrist, maybe the committee did not recommend, the application was weak because an optometrist, how can an optometrist be expert in developing a device? So next time we changed the roles, reversed the roles, and we could secure the grant. And another thing, the second thing, see whether your research proposal that you're submitting is within the stipulated time frame by the funding agency. I can share my experience. I applied for a startup research grant way back in 2017. Okay, I didn't have any idea. I didn't see anything. I just saw it's for PhDs who are employed in university. I just applied, but it got rejected. Later, when I analyzed the startup research grant, it was from SERB only. The startup research grant was only for 2 years, and it supports for setting up your lab. But I proposed a study on myopia where we follow up the kids for 3 years with an intervention. It doesn't fit into the scope and time limit of the particular grant call. So that is important. So first one is the expertise and the soundness of your proposal, and what impact does it make to the society and the clinical or medical practice, and whether it is time bound. I think these are the three things which they will see. And also the collaboration. Okay, you do I did got a grant as the only PI. It was a special grant scheme for women, the power grant, which is for women. So half the competitors have gone. So I could secure it as an independent. I didn't have any collaborator, but it is always better to collaborate with someone if your specific topic warrants any collaboration.
Yeah. Thank you so much, ma'am. If I can share my experience as well, I was part of 3, 4 grants when I was in Nepal, and it was all multidisciplinary approach where we had physiotherapist, computer science person, biomedical engineers, optometrist. Some of the grants we also had social scientists to involve qualitative research and things. Most of the grants got approved. In fact, some of them went up to like 2 to 2.5 crores of money. It was all collaborative, and we started everything at least 3, 4 months before the grant got like the acceptance of the last date, especially. That's those
That's
two
great.
things. Yeah, those two things are I feel very important, because if you start if a week after a week you have a call, it is the deadline. You cannot sit and write a proposal today. So you should always be mindful looking at the website,
Yeah.
whatever you have shared,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
And most
okay.
of the grant calls are available in the website, unless you are in a university like SRM or Manipal, where they regularly disseminate such information.
Information. Yeah.
If you are from a clinical institute or hospitals, you need to keep checking the website regularly. I think from January to now, we are just 5 months, and there have been umpteen research proposals which had deadline from Feb to May. There are so many, at least 10 grant calls, and I don't think we will be able to apply all at the same time. So pick and choose those ones, and I personally advise that you look for the grant call when it is made and the deadline. So the pattern will be the same each year. So don't sit and start writing just a month before. I think that it should start at least a year or 6 months before the next grant call. So that would be better.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for your time and sharing the all the information. You put it in a nutshell within an hour. We will upload this session in YouTube maybe
Sure, sure.
within a week. And this is the program is also accredited with OCA certification. I have posted the link in the chat box. I have couple of questions in the form. You can upload it, like fill the form and submit it. You will receive a certification from on behalf of OCA and Acchutha. We will meet you guys in another Inspire series. Thank you, Dr. Dharani ma'am, for this wonderful time and sharing your
Thank